Yeah, we back with another one, man. Now today, we're going to be talking about an interesting comment that I seen that was put out by Ebro from Hot 97. Everybody knows the DJ Ebro. You already know who that is, man. We're going to get into it. But before we get into that, don't forget to support the channel. You know I come with that fire on a constant basis. Show your support, show your appreciation. Now, let's get into it. Take a look up on the screen. Ebro said this: I got a call saying that it should be noted that many major record labels have deprioritized signing rappers. The focus is now on African music and Latin music. Rappers better stop being boring and talking about the same old stuff over and over, chasing TikTok success and comment sections. Now, before we get into that, man, I just want to say, Ebro is not some random dude, on the subway just rambling and raving. He's actually someone whose word has actually got some credibility, right? As you can see, take a look up on the screen. This article came back in 2019. Radio host Ebro Darden joins Apple Music as the global editorial head of hip hop and R&B. So this is somebody that's connected in the industry. So when he says he got a call, obviously he's not some random guy on the internet ranting and raving about his imaginary connections in the music industry like many people do. No, Ebro is connected way up, high up on the food chain. So I believe him when he said that. Now, let's take a look at some of the reactions on social media. Take a look up on the screen. This person said, rappers need to get back to actually rapping. All right, I agree with that. This person said, people are tired of hearing rappers mumble about breasts and boobs and killing their neighbors. Nobody cares anymore. The industry needs to evolve. This person said, record labels were signing rappers based off popularity and not talent, and trying to get the talented artists to rap for the influencers with clout. And it's failing because clout runs out. And just because something is popular now doesn't mean people will like the personality later. Get back to signing talent and not popularity. Now, when people say get back to signing talent and not popularity, popularity means that the consumer is enjoying the product. You see, that's the thing. That's the disconnect that a lot of people talk about, right? And I even spoke about that in my video last week about Meek Mill, because the rapper Meek Mill, he had said that, the record labels, they pay us more money to rap about ignorant stuff. And I had pushed back against that statement. I said, nah, brother, they're not paying you more to rap about ignorant stuff. You are getting paid more because the product is selling more. You're getting paid more because the product is on the market and is doing numbers. It's not about they're paying you more money. No, they're paying you more money because the product is making more money. So people can talk about talent, but at the end of the day, we live in a capitalist society. People gonna chase that dollar, man. People gotta pay their bills. I remember I was watching an interview on the Breakfast Club with Leo Cohen, and Charlamagne the God, he asked Leo Cohen, why do you sign these rappers that talk about drugs, degeneracy, criminality? And he straight up told him, bro, listen, man, I gotta pay bills, man. I gotta pay bills. I got a staff I gotta pay. I got kids I gotta feed. I gotta do my thing out here in these streets. I'm trying to get rich. He basically said that in so many words. I wish I could come up with the clip, but the Breakfast Club most likely gonna hit me with the copyright strike. But yeah, man, he kept it honest. And that's really what it's about, man. They're gonna chase the popularity because the popularity means that the product is doing numbers. And if the product is doing numbers, they're guaranteed to make a return on their investment. You see, when I make these videos, I'm only speaking from a business perspective. I'm not talking about no emotions, how you personally feel, your internal feelings. I don't care about that, bro. When I put my capitalist hat on, when I put my businessman hat on, I'm not talking about feelings, bro. I'm talking about data, numbers, charts, stats, analyzing the data in front of you. And that's what these labels are doing. And contrary to popular belief, the highest selling rappers, the rappers that are most successful, are typically not the low intelligent type dudes, man. When you see the J. Cole's, the Kendrick Lamar's, the Drake's, even though Drake don't really write his own stuff, you see that obviously the talent is still beating everybody else. But you notice, even those talented rappers, quote unquote, they still have to collaborate with the guys who aren't really as talented, aren't really lyrical. You see, Drake will hop on a song with anybody who's popping. That's how he keeps his name afloat, through collaboration, through cross promotion. Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, even J. Cole hopped on a song with Lil Durk. You see, even these so-called talented rappers, they also collaborate with the guys who don't really have the talent. I think Drake did a whole album with 21 Savage. And 21 Savage, he's straight garbage. So you see what I mean? The reason why these guys are popular is because the market has decided that that's what they want. And because the market has decided, the labels are following the trends. They following the numbers. They following the data. And even Drake, he's following the data because he'll hop on anybody's song that's popping. In fact, I think Drake just put Sexy Red as an opening act on one of his tours, if I'm not mistaken. And Sexy Red, she's not lyrical. Sexy Red is not talented, but she got an entire army of black women supporting her and riding with her. And that's what the label sees. That's what the record company sees. They don't care about the talent. You could go inside the studio and record the sounds of a toilet flushing, and I guarantee if it's gonna sell 1 million records, the label will sign you and they will put out an entire album of nothing but the toilet flushing if people are gonna buy it, if people are gonna stream it. That's what it's about, man. That's what it's about. So you gotta kind of bridge the gap. You gotta bridge the gap between talent and popularity. You got to bridge the gap between making music that people want to consume at a high level while also putting out high level material. The reason why Drake is so good at this and why he's been at the top of the game since like 2009 is because he balances it out by collaborating with the new hot guy on the block. Every time a new hot song comes out, Drake is going to hop on that remix. Drake is going to put them on a tour. Because Drake operates in the same way that the label operates. I'm going to attach myself to whatever is popping, whatever is popular out in the streets. And on top of that, he has an entire team of songwriters and producers in a goddamn sweatshop pumping out hit records for him to hop on. So Drake got it made. That's why Drake gonna be on top for like 20 years straight, bro. Now, let's continue. I had seen this headline a while back, and it was actually surprising to me. Take a look up on the screen. It said this: according to a new report, there hasn't been a single hip-hop song or a hip-hop album that has topped the charts all year. The decline marks the first time in 30 years that hip-hop has been knocked off the top spot since 1993. Now, that headline was very surprising to me, but at the same time, I can't say that I'm surprised. As someone who's listened to hip-hop since like the first grade, and I've been rapping since like the third grade, I'll be honest, man, I haven't listened to any new rap music since like 2018, man. I'm just not interested anymore, man. I couldn't even tell you who's the new hot guy in the streets or the new hot song in the streets. I don't even know, bro. And it's not like I'm an old head. I'm not an elderly guy. I'm still in my mid to late 20s. I stopped listening to rap music when I was like 23. And that was around the time that I first moved out my parents' house. I got my own spot. So at that time, when you finally get responsibilities, you got bills you got to pay, you becoming a man, I can't sit around listening to that bullshit, bro. I can't listen to that bullshit niggas is putting out, man. I'm sorry, bro. I can't listen to that bullshit, bro. When you got bills to pay, when you got responsibilities as a man, you can't wake up in the morning, oh yeah, ride down the block, yeah, swinging at the op, bang, bang, one bullet to his brain. I don't care, bro. I don't care. I don't care. Give me the podcast talking about some empowering, intelligent shit, man. I don't care about that nonsense anymore, bro. And in fact, a lot of y'all who follow me, you already know I make music. Like I said, I first started rapping back in the 8th grade. That song that I play at the end of my videos, that's my song. A large reason why I make my own music is because I make it for my own personal enjoyment. Because I don't find any inspiration in what these rappers are putting out. I don't find any subject matter that resonates with me. But I don't complain about that, though. You don't see me complaining about that. I just decided that I'm going to make music that I want to listen to. So when you hear that song at the end of my videos, that's my song. I made that song because I want to listen to that type of music. I want to listen to that type of subject matter. And it's not enough artists that are supplying me with that type of product. So I decided to make my own music, bro. That's it, man. Ain't nobody else talking about that on that type of level and actually making good music. That's the thing too. You could come with the talent, the subject matter, the lyricism, but you also got to come with some good music, man. You got to come with some good melodies. You got to come with some good flows. You got to come with some good beats. And if you are going to be an artist where the quality of the music is going to be your priority, then you have to understand you cannot focus on the money. You cannot put money as your number one objective, because if money is your number one objective, that's how you get all this trash out here, bro. Because money is the motive for a lot of these artists and a lot of these labels. They chasing a dollar. They chasing a target. They chasing something that is besides the music. And when you step inside the studio and your number one objective is to make $1 and not to make a classic, of course you're going to put out some trash, bro. Of course you're going to put out some trash on the market. Now let's continue. This person said, labels are not in control anymore. The consumers and AdSense dollars are. Rappers with real fan bases are doing just fine. They bring in streaming, sales, and touring dollars. The rest of them are at the mercy of your propaganda. And I believe that too, man. Honestly, the intelligent artist, you don't really need a label, man. You don't really need a label. But to be honest, the average person doesn't have the capitalist mentality, the businessman mentality. The average artist, the only thing they know how to do is step inside the studio, record the song, and go home. They don't really understand the intricacies that goes into the business side of the game, right? They're not familiar with that. Most of these rappers come from underprivileged backgrounds. They don't really know, all that intricate, intelligent businessman stuff. So they're going to attach themselves to a label that has the infrastructure already in place to make them a star, because they don't want to start from the bottom, brick by brick, build a foundation and establish their own infrastructure. They don't have that mentality. They have the mentality of, I'm going to go to the studio, I'm going to record the music, and I'm going to give it to the label, and I'm going to go home. So when you have that mentality, yeah, you got to sign to a label. You got to attach yourself to the label. And that's the average person. That's like telling, you can't tell every single artist to be independent and things like that, because that's like saying everybody has to be their own boss. Everybody is not going to be their own boss. There's going to be employees, bro. Everybody can't be the CEO of the company. Everybody can't be a boss. Everybody can't be a chief. It is what it is, man. Now let's continue. The rapper replies, he said this: you shouldn't want to sign them slave ass deals anyway. And I agree. I agree with that. But I have the mentality of a businessman, right? I have the mentality of someone who's willing to start my own shit and start brick by brick. Everybody don't have that same mentality, bro. It is what it is. Now let's continue. This person said, Afro beats is never going to take hold in America. And Latin music was obvious. It's why Cardi B has a career. Now, I don't know if Cardi B makes Latin music. Last time I checked, Cardi B just makes regular, ratchet, strip club, twerk music. I don't think she's a Latin artist. Does she? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, because like I said, I haven't listened to current rap music since 2018. I haven't kept up with the new trends in the streets. So is Cardi B like a Spanish speaking artist now? I don't really know. Y'all let me know. But one thing we got to understand, especially like I told you, I'm putting on my businessman hat for this video. I'm not worried about your feelings. You got to understand the world does not revolve around the United States, bro. The world does not revolve around the United States. It's like what, 40 million blacks here in the United States, and then you got a continent of over 1 billion blacks, and then you got the diaspora of blacks, the blacks in Europe, the blacks in the Caribbean, South America, Central America, the blacks in Canada, bruh. You don't need to sell products to the United States to get rich, my boy. Come on, man. The world does not revolve around the United States. I know you might think that. I know the propaganda that we are fed might have you think that, but you don't need to sell anything to the United States. Did you know in China, they have whole entire businesses in China that only operate in China and sell to Chinese people and only make money off the Chinese? They don't even sell anything outside the borders. Bro, you don't need to sell to the US to get rich, my boy. Like I told you, the labels are following the trends, the numbers, the data, the charts. And as it relates to the Latin music, isn't there like 500 million Spanish speakers worldwide? Come on, bruh. You don't need to sell nothing to no Americans to get rich, my boy. You bugging out. It's music. Music is worldwide, man. Music is worldwide. And selling music is no different than selling anything else. Selling music is no different than selling t-shirts, selling toilet paper, selling cocaine. It doesn't matter. Even in the drug game, if the product is moving out of state, moving overseas, then we got to move the product overseas, out of state. We got to relocate to where the block is hot. It's about getting money. It's about driving a profit. Y'all got to stop getting emotionally attached to shit. You see, the record label is not emotionally attached. The record label does not care who's buying the product as long as the product gets sold. And as it relates to what he said about the United States, last time I checked, the most powerful man in the music industry, many people say would be Lucian Grange. He was born in London. He's a white man from Europe, right? He's a white man from Europe, and his son, Elliot Grange, is one of the most powerful execs in the music industry, and he signed Ice Spice. Ice Spice is his artist, a white boy from London. So what are you talking about? Fuck are you talking? Y'all boys get too emotionally attached to this shit, bro. It's about getting money. When it comes to this capitalism shit, you gotta put your emotions in the trunk and leave that shit where it's at. It's about getting money, bro. And as it stands right now, the most powerful duo in the music industry is the father and son, Lucian Grange and Elliot Grange, some white men from London. So it don't matter if it takes hold in the United States. They run Universal Music Group. They selling music worldwide. Let's continue, bro. This lady said, this is a little sensationalist. Deprioritizing doesn't mean rappers are not getting signed. What this means is that labels recognize that African and Latin music is showing astronomical growth, and they want to get in on the market share by signing artists from the genres. Correct. Like I told you, it's not about emotions. It's not about feelings. They're looking at the numbers, the charts, the data. They're looking at the potential consumers. They're looking at the fact that as the African continent especially begins to modernize and industrialize, and more people get access to the streaming platforms, the internet, the Wi-Fi, the 4G, the 5G, all that shit, they want access to those eyes and ears. They want access to those consumers because, like the lady said, they are showing an upward trajectory of growth. And as a businessman, you want to get in on that market share. So as an intelligent businessman, you don't sit around and cry about that. What you do is you start your own record label, you start your own infrastructure, you establish your own, you keep all the profit. And then not only do you put out your own music if you're an artist, but you go out and you sign your own artists. That's what you do, man. That's what you do. Get in on the African music. Sign your own Latin artist. Sign an African artist. Get in on the trend, bro. That's what you do. Don't complain about it. Don't cry about it. Get in on the trend. Make your money. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. Anyways, man, it's your boy Neferkari, the Saline, back in the building. Yes, indeed. Cash App up on the screen. And I'm gone. Peace.
Reincarnated, I'm back in original fashion. I left on a horse and came back in the ass, and I left with abundance and came back to famine. We used to be pyramids, now we be rapping. Look how the mighty have fallen. Used to be running, now we be walking. When you be cooning, that's when they applauded. Selling your soul, your sons and your daughter. Gotta come up in this shit, they stuck in the mix. Really, my heart it be breaking. That's why I'm stacking that paper and handle my business. Pass it down in generation. Talking about money and power and building a nation. That's a deadly combination. Never be watching the TV, they pushing agendas, falsifying information. Know they got malice intentions. Step in the room and I'm feeling the tension. Enemy watching, he blocking my vision. Pay for the check cause I need my redemption. Building my kingdom, I need it protected. Ready for war like a young Money Congo. Never decided the team is the motto. Up in the crib and I'm whipping up waffles. Up in the crib and I'm smoking gelato. I'm chilling, I'm taking my pain. pain and make it ambition. I'm blessed by the gods, but I ain't religious. I came for the power, they came for the bitch. They making no hourly wage, I got business. This is an art, and they could never be taught. Selling my soul, I can never be bought. Play with my money, I see you ain't caught. Run to the check and I do it for sport. Babylon falling, I go to the source. Packing my luggage and go overseas. Shorty be with me and she so elite. Shorty be chocolate, I'm calling her Hershey. Secret intelligence probably gon' murk me. Don't fuck with brands, cause nigga I'm Haitian. Say the wrong shit and get smack in their faces.